Hello, hello. Here is the finals game from the tournament from yesterday, which I couldn't cast live on stream because it booted me out of my spectator slot, even though I was lobby host while this match was loading in. CA, please give us service. So we have here Pembrokeshire, or Cont, as it is the name on the Total Tavern website, on Demons of Chaos, and Alexander Nuts on Wood Elves. And first, this color scheme is okay. It really looks actually really nice on the Glade Guard. Might need to look at the Eternal Guards to see if it's okay. Those are usually super bad. Those aren't affected by it because this is a regiment for now. And now to the armies. We have a rather simple setup here for the Wood Elves, going for a big shootout with 7 Glade Guards. Some of them probably Hackbanes, yeah, to get some poison in and to just have more because you can't have only 5 normal ones, and then a front line of Dryads and Drycha with just Miasma. This is something I don't like. With just one Miasma caster, you cannot spend your Winds of Magic quickly enough. So it stacks up, and you usually want to cast them out as quickly as possible. With just one Miasma caster, you end up, even in the late game, having still mana, and you rather want to snowball early. Blessings of the Ancients. You have some forests here where you can have her, but usually Drycha wants to be engaged in combat, so that's maybe some wasted gold too. Right now she should be standing somewhere in the forest to generate some winds before the whole thing starts. But then again, with just Miasma, it's just not necessary. The other side is also fairly simple with pinks and blues mainly, including the 2 regiments. Sour Guts, I hate you. And then 2 Plague Bearers. So fairly thin front line, and I expect it to be overrun if they engage early on. Then the Feathered Prince with a root ability and blue and pink fire. I'm not super sure about blue. I wonder what it would do to Drycha, since she is at least fire weak. So it might be decent there. Usually you want large targets, but well, let it be faster than here. A bit of
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Late grab of this point. Had all the vanguards, should have the points by now. It's maybe better. I usually like it even if I go for mid to place some units out in the flanks in between the points, so I can decide then upon seeing the opponent's army where I want to go. Okay, we're getting down some fiends here, but you can nicely position the Dryads here in the forest, and then the fiends, they don't do the Strider, don't get the debuffs, but the Dryads at least get the buffs of the forest. And yeah, well, it's a charge order, but the place of fighting is similar, though I don't think it's super in the forest. And fiends doing fiend stuff, they are so good right now. Okay, blue fire here on the Hunters of Kurnos. 1 kill only, but some hundreds value. Actually, that must come from some pink fires beforehand. Okay, now we see a very uncoordinated attack from the Wood Elves, I would say. We have here units double stacked, though one is the summon, so that's okay. We have the archers here coming on, shooting at the plague bearers. I don't know. You have, with this 170, definitely the range advantage, and you win the shootout. So there isn't really a reason why you have to super hard engage. Yeah, and you can sit back a bit and let them get closer, block off those plague bearers with your Dryad, and then if you can't really wait any longer, but have spent most of your time shooting, making use of your range advantage, then you engage with the Dryads. This here is fully out of position, and your Dryads are precious. They do terrifying damage into the horrors, but also the other way around, since the fire weakness and magical attacks. Here on the side, the Wild Hunters got netted, and now get a Fury of Zinj. Yep. I don't know if I would have picked Zinj, but honestly, I don't think it matters that much. And now those have a problem, because they're hunted by Zinj, by Fiends, which are a tiny bit faster. Actually not, why? They got the speed buff somewhere. I don't really know why right now. Oh, is Dreicher... Oh, she has a lower passive, which is interesting. It might have actually been the first case where I've seen it matter to escape the fiends here. Okay, now you definitely want the summoned unit to go into the Sagat, so they would disappear in 30 seconds. 13. Not 30, that would be nicer. Yeah, horrors, Glade Raiders into horrors just doesn't really work for some reason. You don't get the shock effect of that shock Cav needs, and they just shoot you down so quickly. One volley of the blues is so much damage due to 160 models, and if they are properly in guard mode and have their barrier up, the Glade Riders can't even disrupt the formation enough to prevent them from shooting more. Okay, here the Wild Hunters have, yeah, well, a very Pyrrhic victory on those. Some normal Wild Riders here. It was probably the right choice against Demons for your strong Cav, since you want the shields, and especially against this horror spam army style of them, that's not always the case, but yeah. Okay, here's things are getting cleaned up. Dreicher taking care of the Sargats. You kinda always have to sacrifice a unit at least to take them down, because their on-death explosions are just so devastating. And they actually got their leadership broken in this encirclement here, and crumble away, which is the best case for you, since you no longer have to sacrifice units into the death explosion. Here on the other side, the point hasn't been taken, though was a bit more in the sphere of influence of the demons for a while now. Those hounds maybe getting things clear here now. Those Wild Riders are a bit stuck up and fighting hounds and Taurus at the same time. If they do charge now back cleaner, they should be able to rout them off and then take this point. The Flying Lord, a bit, yeah, just routing scraps here, not doing a whole lot. And this flank has now completely crumbled away, literally crumbled away. Those dogs don't really have a command, I think. Fiends will carry it, but it's only taking 1 point now, and this is a points value that is not sustainable. Okay, we have here 4 Glade Guards. That's a mass where you critical mass of arrows where they can fairly well defend themselves against mobility assault. They shouldn't shoot at the Lord here though. It would instead take on the Flesh Hounds and Fiends, especially the Fiends. Yeah, it's not horrifying damage, definitely here, but fairly consistent. And the spell, well, is not that expensive. I think they got the wrong target here. They should have charged the Fiend, though. That was a nice pink fire. Oh, that was a nice one. Poor time. Oh, I wanted to look at their codes. Yeah, actually that is a color code that works out, kinda. It still doesn't look good on the Eternal Guard. Doesn't look good, it's just passable. They have such overbright, super high saturation on both their color types, the tunic and the coat. Yeah. Okay, here the point's getting threatened again. The Fiends, if they get a side charge, they might be able to clear those Dryads and defend the point longer. Those Snarklings, of course, won't do a lot here. I don't know how they do against this regiment of Eternal Guards. They definitely will lose, but I don't know how the trading is. Eternal Guards don't tend to trade super well into just fighter units, especially if they are tanky. But they hold the line, and some reinforcements, talking about overkill coming here. Yeah, the game is for a long while completely in control of the Wood Elves. The Sora approach, even though I don't think the Wood Elf played it perfectly, sacrificing a bit too many units, not making use of the range advantage to full effect. They still, this horror army didn't have the width to win that.
Unending glory is yours.
Getting overrun by the Dryads a bit, and then shot by the superior shooting from the Wood Elf side, which, yeah, you, especially after the buff, Glade Guard are now in the top contenders of the Archer department, together with High Elf Archers or Empire Huntsmen, for example, and into just small-sized units, more efficient than Huntsmen. And yeah, you don't really want to go for a full shootout with them, especially if you don't have the range to do so. And not the heavy armored mobility to crush into them. So yeah, I don't think this approach was super well suited. I'm not sure what the Deamons could have currently done here differently. I'm not super aware which strategies might work now. Definitely, if you see Wood Elves with 7 archers in the opening army, you might consider build up, even if you didn't tech for it early on. Because yeah, the build up negates the time for the archers, and such a strong point for the Wood Elf army. Though with this build, this might have not worked. It's no really tanky units that can take the front of the build-up rush then. So yeah. Also, I don't know how expensive this guy is, but from what I see here, he might actually be fairly expensive. Would have more units and in some way better quality units for a shootout. As seen, horrors are more resilient to getting charged. Yeah, would need to explore that. For now, I would say this match is definitely one of the favorites. Had been for a long while, to be honest, until Furies got buffed for a while, and then it stopped. Yeah, so much for this, and see you on the next one, which will be the Clan Warcast tomorrow on stream. Somewhere in the evening for EU folks and noon or before that for US folks. Bye bye.